Hi, I'm Sue Resig, and tonight I'm having for dinner this delicious tomato soup that also could be used as a sauce or a gravy over, say, a baked potato. Why not? Or over your mashed potatoes. It's really delicious, and it's so easy. I start with 2 tomatoes, just nice tomatoes, and you know what? I'm going to stick those in my blender. I can throw them in whole. I like to watch them wrestle around in there while they break down, but 2 tomatoes, and they're going to get pureed. That was easy, wasn't it? And then what I'm going to saute first before our sauce is this. I've got 1 shallot cut up, which equaled about a 1/4 cup of shallot. If you don't have shallots, it's okay. You can use onion, or you could even use leek, which you might have on hand. But my favorite is shallot, okay? And then this is 1 large garlic clove, which equaled 1 tablespoon of diced garlic. And then you can see I just sliced off a piece of yellow pepper. This is optional. You don't need to put pepper in, and it doesn't have to be yellow. You can use red or orange or green, whatever. I just was in the mood for a little pepper in there tonight. And then 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. So what we're going to do first is take this to the stove. I'm going to show you how to saute without any oil. Here's how you know. I have my stove set on medium heat. And come take a peek at this fun water bubble. That's how you know it's ready. I put in a drop of water and look at that just bounce around. That's how I know it's hot enough. Whoops, get out of there. And then I'm going to put the shallot in, put the garlic in, get it started, and then I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. You can hear it sizzling. There. So it's like a medium low now. I just like to get it started out in a nice hot pan. It's not going to stick as much if you do it this way. It kind of rides on that little layer of vapor that comes from the vegetables themselves, from the garlic and onion. And this is how you saute without any oil. Generally in Gerson cooking, this is meant to be more of a seasoning. This is obviously not my cooked vegetable. Our cooked vegetables are cooked low and slow for a long time, but this is going to be my seasoning to my low and slow tomatoes, okay? And I do a little alternative cooking when I do that. And this is such a simple recipe. I don't even put herbs in it or anything. I just let the garlic and the shallot speak for themselves, and they say lovely things to this tomato soup. There we go. And you can see I'm starting to get just a little bit of color down there. I don't want anything to get too dark, just a little golden. Just a little golden is nice. It helps bring out a little more flavor. And you can hear it's not as noisy either because I turned the temperature down. It's just gently sauteing now, very gentle. And now that I'm seeing color, I'm going to add my peppers. They brought a little more moisture in, a little more sizzle. And I don't worry about cooking those down because I like my peppers to have a little more texture in the soup. I don't want them to just disappear. And now I take my tomato puree. And I'm going to just let that come up to a simmer. And I'll let it simmer with the lid off for a little bit. And eventually I'll put the lid on. So I like to let it simmer a good half hour. Once it comes up to temperature and you can see it bubbling a little bit. I don't want it fierce, but we'll come back and take a look at it when it's bubbling, okay? And you'll see it'll start to cook down. You know what I didn't put in there? I didn't put my brown sugar in. Let me grab that. There we go. And This is obviously something I would eat over the course of a couple days. I don't eat it all up at once, not with all that sugar in there. And it makes a good amount. It's very tasty. Like I said, it's very delicious as a topping over something. I'll end up, typically with a recipe, I'll eat it plain the first time, and then the second time I start adding it to things. and just blending flavors with other foods because I enjoy it so much. There we go. All right, we'll come back in a little bit and see how that looks. So here we go. I turned up the temperature a bit just to get it going. It was taking too long. And now it's simmering, and I'm going to turn it down as low as I can and still have it simmer gently, okay? I'm still in the process of turning it down, but this is what I want it to do for about half an hour, and we'll come back in half an hour. The soup's all done. It simmered for 30 minutes. You can see that turned out really thick. If you wanted it thinner, you could add a little Hippocrates soup to that, just to thin it down a little bit. But it's so rich, it's got a lot of flavor. Very nice. It tastes a lot like something my grandmother used to make called chili sauce, and it was used as a condiment, kind of like you would ketchup. You could use this like that. You could use it like you would a ketchup on something to just give it a little more flavor. But it's very good as a soup or as a sauce. I hope you try it. I think you'll really like it. Have a good night.